Hi guys, Driving Gent here. So recently I was driving through France, where I've got a house, and we'd gone out for lunch somewhere, parked the Tesla up, and it didn't take long for someone to come over and say, "Oh, is that your car?" And they said they've got one at home, but they drive down in their old diesel car because they get range anxiety, and them and their wife hadn't taken the plunge yet and driven, as far down, that's about 400 miles from Calais, hadn't driven down yet because they didn't know whether they'd make it. And this is a pretty common thing that I found amongst people who are thinking about electric cars or who already own an electric car. And obviously if you have a low range electric car like a Nissan Leaf or a Renault Zoe, then it's obviously a big problem, and those are generally just used for commuting, short distance commuting. But if you've got a Tesla, any variety of Tesla, even the old 60D, it's pretty easy to get around, to do long journeys, and you just have to have a bit of confidence, and you just have to also trust your battery and the range that it's already got. Now, we've got a Model X 100D, and I can't tell you exactly what the rated distance is, I don't have it in front of me, but I feel confident driving for around 2.5 hours. On the motorway, that is. And I've found in France that the chargers tend to be roughly 2 hours apart, and we go from, let's say, 90% down to about 15 or even 10%, depending on the weather conditions and how fast we've driven. And although at the beginning I felt a little bit uncomfortable doing it, now that I've done it several times, nothing could be easier. But today I wanted to show you something that will make it a lot easier for you and give you a lot more confidence. So the Tesla's onboard navigation system is pretty good. It's probably run off of Google Maps. It tends to follow very similar routes. It's intuitive to use, it's quick and smooth, and it looks nice. And you won't have any problems in that sense, but it's really only good for simple journeys. And the main reason I say that, and this is one of the great weaknesses I think with the car, is seeing as, there's so much software already in the car, I don't know why they haven't made it a cleverer system. Because firstly, it doesn't ask you what charge you'd like to arrive at your destination with. And if you're going somewhere, away from home, a hotel or a theme park even, or a friend's house overnight, how do you know that you'll be able to charge your car there? So you might need enough charge in order to get back to a supercharger. Now, the system will tell you what charge you will have if you return back to where you started from. But that's pretty clunky, and you have to do a bit of work for yourself. So I searched out for something that was much more usable and came across a better route planner, which you can see here. So it's a fairly intuitive website, as you can see. As with most other navigation systems, you just put in your starting point and your destinations, and you can also add waypoints so that you can go to various places in between. So this weekend I'll be starting off in East London, or in the city, at Cannon Street, and I'm going up to North Yorkshire, which is a pretty long journey. We're talking about, in a normal car, we're probably around 3 hours or so. But in the Tesla, and bearing in mind where I'll be stopping, I need to have more time. So we've got a Tesla Model S P85D, and I'm just changing some of the settings here. I won't be going over the speed limit, I hope. Not on camera. And the system takes into account all the changes in altitude, so that it knows, going uphill, using more energy, etc. And you can set what charge you'll have when you leave your starting point, what charge you're comfortable getting to a supercharger with, and at what charge you would like to arrive at your destination. And then you can change various other settings. It can affect it quite a lot, depending on what the outside temperature and the wind and the road conditions are. I'm not too fussy about those. I don't think it takes 5 minutes to get into a service station, so I generally change those. And it makes it glaringly obvious that Tesla should have had something like this in the system, even if it was, on the app, and you could set a default at what you'd like to arrive at your destination with. Oof, that's quite a long journey, and maybe that's not the most efficient way. So let's see if we can get it to change the total duration down a bit. Maybe we don't need to go north of the hotel and we can charge at Leeds, which is further south. We just won't arrive at the hotel with as much charge, but we'll see further on. Maybe we won't need as much charge to get to Whitby and back. So if we go down to 70% arrival charge, we're still going to Scotch Corner, which is the one further north. Let's see what this does. And come on. That's better. Okay, so we knocked about 50 minutes off by not having to go north of the hotel, which on a Friday afternoon, evening, leaving work and getting there, that extra 50 minutes is going to be great. You can get a couple of beers down in that time. And as you can see, we could actually get another 3% of charge in there if we sat there for probably another 7 or 8 minutes. And then we'd arrive with 68% and just have a bit more of a buffer. So as you can see, the rest of the journey is a little bit more complicated because we've got to go from the hotel to Whitby on the east coast, back to the hotel, spend another night, and then head off to Seaham Hall in Sunderland. So this is quite a complex journey for a Tesla to do, and it's worth just checking that we're going to have enough charge to do all of that. And you can see that we're leaving the first hotel with 65%, we can get to Whitby and back on the same day, and we don't have to charge until just before we go to Seaham Hall, and we can add as much charge as we want there on the Sunday morning. So there you have it, guys. It's a really useful website. It allows you to use the car to its full potential, to not be worried about going off-piste. You know, if you plan a little bit beforehand, the car is more than capable. It's just that a better route planner is far better than the one that you get in the Tesla, and I don't think anyone should be worried about taking their Tesla abroad or you know, off to Wales or North Yorkshire or the Highlands. You'll find somewhere to charge it. You just plan your route first. Anyway, have a good day, thanks for watching, and please do subscribe.